What up, y'all? What up? We back. Another stream. We got a few things going. We got a few short videos, so should be it's a little variety in there, a little bit of everybody. We got a little music, a little bit of politics, news, and we got a little bit of YouTube. So welcome back. Appreciate everybody that's been supporting the channel, man. It's been going up for real. Been a little lit lately, so ain't gonna do too much. But for anybody that's listening, I am on my Discord live streaming in my chat. If you want to, if you're watching this and you want to hop on stream, let me know. I could invite you in, chat it up about whatever it is we talking about. You feel me? Let me see some. Here we go. Yeah, we're gonna do it that way. But yeah, so I hope it don't play though. It shouldn't double play. It shouldn't. All right, so first thing we got on the docket. Yo, what's good, D Nice? Appreciate you. What up, my boy?
Whack.
Oh, sorry,
Welcome
one.
back, Weenie.
Yeah. That's the one I meant to press. Um, but yeah, we gonna get straight to it, man. We got Bow Wow. Bow Wow back, y'all. He got a new freestyle. So we're gonna listen to it, see what Bow talking about. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like a lot of people be playing Bow Wow because he did a lot of corny shit back in his day. But Bow Wow is a legend, and you can't take that away from him. Like every nigga that was a '90s baby knew they grew up wanting to be like Bow Wow, wanting the cornrows with the straight backs. You know what I'm saying? Wish they was in like Mike. Like niggas need to stop acting like Bow Wow wasn't that nigga once upon a time. Like for real. So I always hear him out, man. Even if he got new music, even though I may not like it, I'm just gonna fuck with him because he's Bow Wow. He says a little reverb. You see. I think I think I know why. I think I know why. I think I know why. I hear what you talking about. What about now? What about now? Do y'all still hear it? Is it still there? Cause I heard it too when I just tried to listen to my shit. Damn, bro. I don't know why it would be doing that. Let's see. Hold on, y'all. All right, so how it sound now, y'all? Wait, it's probably because this shit too loud. And it's probably y'all still hear it. This is how I need to talk, so I don't want to talk away from the mic. I don't know why I would be doing this though. Y'all still hear it? Damn. What about now? Let me see something. Oh God, I don't want that shit there, y'all. All right, so what about now? How do I sound? All right, is it should I think that's it. I think I figured it out. I think I had it too loud. Am I good now? Am I good now? Okay. Damn, bro, I gotta figure that shit out. I don't know why I would be doing that. That's kind of annoying. It shouldn't be doubling like that. Shit. Okay, we gonna see how it sound once I play this video. So we gonna play this Bow Wow video. He came back, y'all. Let's see what he on.
Hey, yo, what up? It's the boy Bow Weezy. I'm here to press play.
Like, you gotta know yourself.
Howard Wower. So he really gonna take that moniker.
Before you can have an opinion, you gotta know yourself.
I'm from the O, when niggas barely make it out this bitch, so just imagine what the pressure.
First of all, is the O somewhere people barely make it out that bitch?
Me and Brown was dealing with at age 6. I jumped right off this bitch, so just imagine what the pressure me and Brown was dealing with at age 6. I jumped right off the porch and I got busy. Age 7, I started making noise up in my city. Age 8, what?
Come on, Bow Wow. You wasn't jumping off nobody's porch, bro. I can't do the Ohio, man. He's talking about jumping off the porch when he was 8. He's talking about Ohio.
Pack my shit up, move right out the state. Tired of seeing my mom struggle, I had to make some shit shake. By age 9, signed a death row, I was about to do numbers. Age 10, see, that's when that whole shit crumbled. Snoop went to No Limit, Dre started Aftermath. I'm thinking to myself like, damn, all a nigga got is rap, like what I'm gon' do. I just toured the world with Snoop. What the fuck I look like going back to my old school? Age 12, I'm about to get shit cracking, huh? 13, album 1, triple platinum, huh? Whoa, selling out the garden was like a ritual. Shit, boy, I'm doing numbers just like Jigga do. Second album dropping and I'm like 15. Then I had to jump right on that big screen. No bullshit, I feel like Mike for real. I played Code 101, dawg, that's a major deal.
So I played Kobe I think you say Code, but I'm sure he meant Kobe because now he getting emotional, I guess. Okay, I like how it's cool. I like how he telling his story, and I like some of the schemes he just pulled. Some of the schemes he just tied into that shit.
I feel like Mike for real. Then I had to jump right on that big screen. No bullshit, I feel like Mike for real.
Because we got to be honest, it's like, Bow Wow don't have much to talk about except for his career and how successful he was. Because, he talking about jumping off the porch. I mean, I guess he just feels like that means getting to some money, but that's not how niggas use jump off the porch. But he gonna rap about what he know, and I really can't get upset about anybody that. Is that Sonic as your play icon? Yeah.
I played Code 101, dawg, that's a major deal.
Nigga did numbers.
Speed shit up.
Speed it up. What, you gonna skip a few years of your life?
18, y'all ain't live the life that I done lived by 19. I had Sierra living in my crib by age 20. Shit, I was fucking Playboy bunnies.
I don't know, man. It's just like he ain't got nothing to say. I'm not trying to laugh at him, but it's just like he don't have nothing. At 19, I had Sierra living at my crib. At 20, I was fucking Playboy bunnies. It's like, oh God, man, I love Bow Wow, man, but it's just the shit he got to say is not much. It's just I feel bad.
All a nigga thought about was pussy and some money. True. Turning 21 and I'm feeling my age. Finally can touch all the money I made. Hit the dealership and I bought 2 Ferraris.
And it's just I just feel bad because he's like 36 now. And 36, 37, and it's like he still ain't. I don't think he feels like he has an identity. It's just kind of sad.
For the price of 2, I could have bought me 1 Bugatti. Mid-20s now, no sign of slowing up at all. And when I hit 30, you know I'm turning up. Yeah, White House clearance, I really met Obama. That mean I'm certified, I don't got no problems. Looking back at it, I really got it made. BET play my movies, that mean I'm getting paid. I'm pushing 28, turning 29. They say I'm a GOAT, but I'm still in my prime.
Who said Bow Wow's a GOAT? Yeah, his delivery's decent. His delivery decent. But who said? Well, I don't know about just after 13, because when he made Fresh as I'm Is and Let's Get Down, them was some joints. Fresh as I'm Is and Let's Get Down was some joints. But why the hell did he just say he was a GOAT? Bow Wow, you as a legend. You can. That's the moniker you should have used. Nobody has ever called you a GOAT, bro. I fuck with you, but no.
Rolling this blunt while I think of shit. I'm still torn off my old hits. They can't get enough of my old shit. My shit's classic and it don't age quick.
Yeah, but what about? Never mind.
I kissed Tyra Banks on my own show.
See, you bragging about like kissing celebrities and shit. This is tough. I respect Bow Wow so much, but to just not have nothing to say and then make Bowward Woward, this is tough, bro. It's so awkward. He don't have anything to say. And I think Bow Wow should stick to acting. I just said that at the beginning of the stream like 5 times on his Kendrick shit. Wait, I said what? Oh, I respect Bow Wow. Cause man, like he ain't got nothing to say, but he should just be an actor. He should just act. He not even a bad actor.
Show y'all hoes how far my game go. The shit these new rappers doing, I did twice. All that shit that you talking, you better tread light. Yeah, all before 30, I really mean that shit. Another plaque in the mail, hang my accomplishments. Not from the shop, but y'all lacking common sense. 20 years later, and I still got it lit. Mention me when y'all having GOAT conversations.
You going too far, Bow Wow. You're going, nigga. No, not mentioning you on no GOAT conversation. Why are you saying these things?
I'm top 5 whenever y'all niggas debating. Can give a fuck about your rap list. Cause all I ever do is drop classics. Real.
I know y'all heard that. I know y'all. Listen. These last bars just kind of killed everything he just said because he knows he's lying.
Another plaque in the mail, hang my accomplishments. Not from the shop, but y'all lacking common sense. 20 years later, and I still got it lit. Mention me when y'all having GOAT conversations. I'm top 5 whenever y'all niggas debating. Can give a fuck about your rap list. Cause all I ever do is drop classics. Real.
I don't think he believes it. He said drop classic 2024. Maybe this was his bow wow for music. Maybe this was his bow wow. Bow wow, bow wow, bow wow, bow wow.
And at the center of all this.
Okay. Look, I don't know if that's a double entendre, but yeah. Bow wow, maybe that was his bow wow. That, you know, like, cause that was weird. That was weird. Bow, I fuck with you, but maybe that was his last song and he's done with rap. You saw he finna drop the mic. You drop classics. I don't know. If he called that a classic, then I guess I don't know what classics are. Cause I don't know anybody that's thinks of Bow Wow and be like, all he does is drop classics. I don't think that's ever been the conversation, but good job, Boward Woward, I guess. Now, the next video, this multi-platinum. Yeah, that Beware the Dog for sure. Next on the agenda, we have Send That Mic. It's on this. Send That Mic on his way with Amazon Prime. Yeah, he done. He should be done after that. So next on the list, Abba and Preach made a video about Mr. Beast. And I don't know what it's about, but I feel like I got an idea because the thumbnail kind of was telling. And I think that there's probably some shit going on where people think that Mr. Beast has an agenda with trans people or something. Or they're trying to turn you trans, and Mr. Beast is probably a part of that. That's what I'm guessing is from the thumbnail. And typically Abba and Preach be on point with their takes. We're gonna see. Because if this is what I think it is, I don't even watch Mr. Beast heavily, but I know enough to know that there's no freaking agenda with him. So he said, so Kendrick, Bow Wow, Drake, J. Cole, Eminem. Basically. Oh, shit. But, all right, let's see what they talking about with Mr. Beast.
And at the center of all this, you have Mr. Beast, Ava Tyson. And at the center of all this, you have Mr. Beast, Ava Tyson, Dr. Disrespect, Nick Merckx, a bunch of names that you may or may not be familiar with. In the world, Ava Tyson's been a part of the Mr. Beast.
What in the MCU? Mr. Beast, Dr. Disrespect. This is not reality. Mr. Beast, Nick Merckx, Alice Silverstone, Dr. Disrespect, Evil Maniac. For a second, I got out of my mind and I was like, what the fuck am I watching?
All right, but it gets better. Let's go from here.
He's obviously biggest creator in the world. Ava Tyson's been a part of the Mr. Beast crew from the beginning, with Mr. Beast having to once again, like he's done in the past throughout her transition, defend Ava online. With this most recent,
if you're not aware, Mr. Beast has a cast of people that regularly appear, and one of them recently, admitted to everyone that they were trans and basically began their transition. So you can kind of see that their appearance physically, outwardly is changing quite drastically. There's been some uproar about this. Some people feel uncomfortable, but Mr. Beast has decided to accept her as part of the crew and keep going with it as if nothing. But they're really close friends and stuff, so that's contextual.
For real. But online. With this most recent example of that stemming from a video posted by Nick Merckx. And he's a very big gaming streamer, though I would say definitely over this past year, with more and more of his anti-trans talk, he's gotten a lot more attention. And he tweeted to Ava, "You should be ashamed of yourself, leaving behind your wife and child to play pretend. One day you'll wake up and realize what you've done."
Damn. That's judgy as fuck, bro. That's judgy as hell. I wonder if that person actually left their family just because they decided to come out as like, did they leave their family or did they just, fully decide to transition themselves? That's kind of wild to say about somebody you work with.
Oh man, shut up. That is none of your business. Sorry.
Tweet from Ava earlier saying, "Me every time I post on Twitter."
All mentions are he, they, she, hey, they.
And so Nick's tweet, it garnered a lot of reactions. One of the biggest responses there was from
missed it. Basically, somebody on Mr. Beast team, this individual at the top left, they fully transitioned, and Nick Merckx said, "One day you'll realize you made a mistake by leaving your family to go play pretend."
Mr. Beast himself, saying Ava is literally always with her kid and doesn't even go on shoots to spend more time with them. Tuckman is always smiling, not sure why this rumor is a thing. And as you can imagine,
I figured, I'm like, is there an assumption? Why are you just, Nick Merckx doesn't work with Mr. Beast? I don't know if he did, but he spoke on it. This person worked with Mr. Beast. I don't know about Nick Merckx, but he spoke on the situation. And that's what I said. I'm like, how are you just going to say they don't spend time with their child? I'm like, why would you just assume that?
When the biggest...
Yeah, then you guys are just chatting shit. Their transitioning had no impact on their parenting.
You're doing that exactly.
Okay.
You're doing the most.
I know I brought that up. Okay, let's keep going.
His creator on the platform chimes in on something, it becomes an even bigger conversation. Whether it be people on the side of how dare Mr. Beast say that, or upset with the fact that he's friends with, supports, and features a trans woman in his content. But this is there were also a ton of others loving what Mr. Beast said here.
All right, we got one of the greatest thinkers of our generation, Cucko. If you want to pretend to be
Sneeko, of course he interjected himself into this. Oh my God! Of course Sneeko has something to say.
a woman, do it off camera. Do not be selfish. Do not damage Jimmy's philanthropic reputation. Do not confuse a generation of children by celebrating puberty blockers and genital mutilation.
This nigga is so stupid. And of course, look, of course, Sneeko trying to get back in good graces with Mr. Beast, considering he's making far less money because he's not on YouTube anymore. And he already ruined his relationship with Mr. Beast. So now he's finding a reason to, like, don't damage his philanthropic reputation. Mr. Beast done with you, sir. You fucked that up. So don't even try it. And not only that, look at what he said. Do not confuse a generation of children by celebrating. Who's celebrating anything? They're just doing them. They doing what they got to do with their life. And you talking about selfish? How is what that person wants to do with their life have any effect on Mr. Beast if they're not doing anything criminal? They're not doing anything immoral or criminal. Nobody's celebrating puberty blockers or genital mutilation. You just saying shit, bro.
Holy shit. These guys are comatose brain dead. So basically it's like, if you want to be trans, just don't be trans on camera. Just hide. On the topic of trans people being on camera, I don't give a shit either. Like, what a non-issue. Yeah, but what if kids see it? So what? Trans people are real. You need to get over it. They've always been real. They've always been around. That's a fact. You may not like it, and that's fine, but they should be allowed to exist in these spaces, and kids should be allowed to see them. Now, it's a completely different thing if you're talking about drag queens and all this other shit. You can have me there, right? Because there's a sexual connotation to a lot of that culture, and that's inappropriate around children. But just trans people existing, I don't give a f***. They're going to be around here. People used to say the same shit about gay people. What do you like? Letting people see these kids? Seeing these trans people is not going to turn these people trans, and seeing these gay kids is not going to turn these people gay. I don't care how many gay people I would have seen on camera. There's not a day in hell that I would have become gay in the future. It was either in you or it's not. Some of you don't want.
I don't know why people act like that's just so unheard of. There was no day you woke up and decided to be like, I am straight today. I think I'm gonna be straight. I think for the rest of my life I'm gonna just decide that I like the opposite sex. Nobody does that, and they need to stop acting like, oh, you see gay people, you're gay. Like, that doesn't even make sense when we grew up only seeing straightness publicized, and most people turn out straight because that's the norm, and that's just what it is. It's not about, like, it's only about people being comfortable who they are because they're showing them in TV and in media so people can feel more comfortable saying they're gay. Because we all know when we grew up, there was kids we knew that was gay, but they couldn't openly say it because it wasn't acceptable. Nobody's turning gay because of what they see.
Accept that you believe that everyone's being turned gay or whatever it is. It's ridiculous. Oh my god, this guy's cool and he's gay, so like maybe I'll start sucking. What? Jesus Christ.
Did you catch the gay again?
Oh, me, like
sucking dick.
And that's the thing. I would ask people to think that, like, so how many gay videos or gay men do you have to see till you decide to suck a dick? Like, that's what the question comes down to, right? If you ask me, that's the only reason I can see. That's the only way I could see them rationalizing in their head. It's like, all right, well, if that's the case, how many videos till you turn gay, huh? How do you think everybody else is so susceptible, but you're not?
Absolutely ridiculous. Like,
it doesn't work like that.
There's a level of protect the kids that I understand. This is just fear mongering. Yeah. This is just
you guys are bored.
Getting the pitchforks ready for dumb shit.
You guys are bored.
And I watch Mr. Beast's content from time to time. There are no political messages. There's a very strong effort to be very neutral on most things, but people think like this is somehow like a big thing. You know, no, you're just showing kids what real life is likely going to look like and the kind of people they're going to meet. Every now and then, you're going to see a trans person. That's okay. You shouldn't be shocked when you see them because if you live in North America, they're part of our society. But the truth is, and this is the reality, these people don't think trans people should exist. I think sometimes people use.
That's always been my issue. It's like they don't want to openly say it, but it's like y'all just don't want these people to exist whatsoever. You're trying to express it by saying, oh, the kids, and you don't give a fuck about the kids. I don't even think you believe that the kids are going to turn trans. Y'all don't want them to exist because y'all don't like it. That's really what it is. And they did the same shit with gay people. They did the same shit with black people. You know what I'm saying? All of that shit is really wrong at the end of the day.
Use children to mask the fact that they just have a problem with something.
Yeah.
That's what it comes to.
They've been doing that. Yeah. Throughout history, they've been doing that. They've been hiding behind kids.
Yeah. Think about the children. They did that with weed. Think about the children. They did that with alcohol. They think about the children. Black people. They're like, it just always comes down to the children. It's just crazy. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some times where they do go too far with the kids when it comes to certain things that they're presenting in the schools. That's something you fight on. But you don't fight on a group of people, irrespective of what they say or what they believe or what they are even espousing in public, and say they shouldn't have a right to be able to even be there. I don't abide by that kind of discrimination. The idea that people should not be on camera because they're trans, like, that's just stupid.
While Fresh and Fit, Just Pearly Things, and every other loser in the red pill space are taking L's with
Again!
we want
You
you
fucking
to
idiot!
some W's with today's sponsor, Surfshark.
Couple of reasons. Summer is coming. Yeah, and a lot of you like to go on vacation in the summer. That's just logical. But did you know that according to the place that you are on the world, the price of your ticket is going to vary. So if you want to be able to enjoy a rebate or a lesser amount on your fare, you change your location with a VPN changer and you're going to be able to have the best prices for your flight.
If you want to surf the web in a private manner, you don't want to have the unwanted people have access to your information, whether you are doing some online banking or traveling or using a Wi-Fi connection that is not secure, you're going to be able to have your information protected, encrypted, and sent so that, nobody's going to have access to your information. Basically, Surfshark is going to be a bit like the security guard that's going to falcon punch all the people that are going to want to have access to your to your information. Yeah, shout out to my man Sneeko. They going to nut their teeth out. Yep. The wonderful thing about Surfshark is that it's unlimited devices. It is not going to charge you one penny more. So if you click on the link below and enter coupon ABBA and Preach,
these niggas be clowning.
30-day money back warranty. Get it.
I miss when Mr. Beast was kid friendly.
No, that's facts. They are normal. That's the thing. They're normal. That ABBA and Preach are like normal people. They aren't judgy, but they judge what needs to be judged. They critically think. You don't always know what they're gonna say. Like, they're not predictable with their takes.
I miss when Mr. Beast was kid friendly.
Is the amount of transphobia in his replies, or just the sheer number of people saying vile things about him and Ava everywhere online. And with that, Ava even
So people are mad at Mr. Beast. I think being mad at Mr. Beast has got to be so stupid. They're defending their friend that they've known forever. And I don't know, I would do the exact same thing.
I was just finna say, like, he's supposed to turn his back on a friend that he's had simply because they're trans? What type of friend is that? Y'all rather, like, oh shit, you're trans, I don't know what we're gonna do. I'm the richest person on YouTube and I don't know what's gonna happen. It's all coming down. No! Like, what the fuck do y'all want the man to do? This is crazy.
Let's say if Preach was Miss Preach tomorrow and, she was a bad bitch. I wouldn't change anything about this channel. I literally carry on the exact same way. However I feel about trans women in sports or the whole bathroom discussion, I do not care, individually speaking, on talking to trans people and treating them any different. Like, it's fine. You're another person. As long as they don't ask me to make up some stupid fucking pronouns with je, which I would refuse to do. If someone says, I'm a woman, okay, and they are presenting as a woman, all right, they're making every effort to, and they say that's their pronouns, and their name is now Coletta, I'm going to call them whatever they want. This is like the biggest non-issue for me. And for people to sit there and be like, I don't want, if somebody changed their name, you would use their new name, wouldn't you? So why would you try to call them by their old name? That's fucking stupid. Of any person. If someone says, my name is now this, and you continue to call them by their old name, you're just an asshole. Yeah. You're not making some moral standpoint. You're not doing anything special. You're just an asshole.
If you were able to reference a grown-ass man as Puffy? I think you can name someone whatever their new name is.
Facts.
And the number of times Puff Daddy changed Puff Daddy, Piff Diddy, P Diddy, P Diddler.
Who cares?
It's like we accepted that.
Did go through like
So
someone tells you this is my name now, you just give it to. Like, this is so
I don't
stupid,
care about
nonsensical.
that. It's yeah. I don't give a shit about that. Yo, it's like people are bored. You guys are bored. You're looking for new ways to entertain
They're
yourself.
just trying to feed their base with the whole anti-trans thing and anti-liberal thing. They just hate them. So they just like, the kids, look at the kids. It's all the kids. And it's like, come on, dog. Nobody cares, bro. Kids is not finna turn trans because trans people exist.
This is a nothing sandwich. Like the person just transitioned and Mr. Beast keeps on respecting the person for the human they are. Just keep on doing your shit.
Yep.
And then you're the one making up stuff to talk about you left your child. That's not your business.
I mean, why are you commenting on other people's families?
That's not your business.
You don't want nobody talking about your kids and your wife. Why the you open your mouth about other people's kids and wives?
That's none of your business.
Fucking weirdos.
You know what, man?
Yeah.
I think we're like 9-9 now.
Was it?
Every time I see a scandal with Mr. Beast, I look at it and I'm like, you guys are bored. That was
always
nothing.
Mr. Beast.
It's like they really want to say something about this dude.
Bro, he's too kind, he's too giving, he's too generous.
So we got to do something.
It's like, holy
it's like, yo, you guys are bored. I think that's like the 9th thing that I've seen about Mr. Beast. Oh my God, new thing about Mr. Beast. And I look at it and I'm like, that's a nothing burger. Shh, keep it moving.
That's my slide on this. I thought this was really dumb. Good on Mr. Beast for defending a friend. That is what a good friend should do. All right, you should not switch up on your friend because they are different in terms of like maybe their religious identity or their cultural. As long as like their court hands don't change, who cares? And if it is a thing, then you talk about it off camera and you have that discussion. But clearly their work is not impacted by it, so what difference does it make? And it looks like their friendship is not impacted by it, so who cares? Sure, Mr. Beast has to catch flack, but you know what? I would be honored. Okay? If my friend was struggling and I had the opportunity to stand by them, that would be an honor. That would not be something I would shy away from. That would be like, this is when you need your friends. Not when it's convenient, not when it's politically or business expedient. If a bunch of people said, yo, Ab, I want to stop doing business with you because you work with gay people or whatever. Okay, then I'm okay with that. We're going to lose this business. Yeah. There are some things that are worth it. And if you think I would drop it, no, that's ridiculous. That's my thoughts on this whole thing.
Can you imagine the blowback he'll get if he dropped them to be on his show or whatever he does with this person? Like, that's so much worse. And that's what people want. Like, people like Sneeko, it's like, yeah, I've been working with this person for about 15 years. We've been doing YouTube together. I don't know the time frame, but I'm just saying, like, if this is a good friend, we've been doing videos with each other for like 15 years, and they come out trans, we'd be like, whoa, can't work with you no more. Sorry about that. Sorry. Got to cut ties. That would bring Mr. Beast shit crumbling down. That would break down his philanthropic work. Like, these people are insane. And now I just want to talk about loyalty and shit like that.
So good for Mr. Beast. All the people complaining, I think they pearl clutching and they love to do that on behalf of kids. But really, just say what it is. You don't like trans people and you don't think they should be on camera. Stop using kids. Just stop it. That shit's annoying. What? Nothing. Can you tell us? When are you gonna stop pretending to be in a bike gang? How long are you going to be a prospect for? When are they going to give you the patch?
I'm not the one that decides.
So you just going to let them treat you like that forever?
I mean, it's not that bad. I'm in the RC, not an MC. It would have been much worse if it was an MC. MC is like 1%ers and stuff like that.
So why are you doing this bike gang stuff? This is just, what's that about?
First and foremost, I'm on the bike gang. And you know, it's not a bike gang.
What do I know? I don't know anything. I heard you. I made a call and then something disappears. So I don't know what's happening.
You made a call?
No, you made it. You told me I made a call. It's handled. And I was like, oh shit.
You mean the publicity that we're running this channel?
No. I remember one time something happened. You're like, I'll make a call. And then
they just clowning now. It seems like they just All right, I think I figured out the reverb. Bonita, what's good? You back in here? They clowning. But yeah, man, they need to stop. This whole it's for the kids shit. That shit gotta stop. You're seeing more people be trans and gay simply because it's more accepting. So people that already are that, they're going to be more comfortable coming out. Nobody's becoming gay or becoming trans simply because they exist in the real world. So all that shit needs to stop. I am going to take a few seconds to give me something to drink before we start this next video because it's a longer video. So y'all sit tight. I'm going to be right back.
All members of the animal.
Right in the center of.
All right.
All members of the animal.
I told y'all I wasn't going to take too long. All right, so y'all know Roseanne. You on my gen, everybody knows who Roseanne is, right? So she went on Piers Morgan again, and from what I'm seeing, Roseanne is losing her shit too. Everybody losing their shit. We know she got fired. Well, they canceled the Roseanne spinoff. It wasn't a spinoff. They brought it back. They brought Roseanne back, and it ended because she says she made some racist remarks. So, from what I understand, it seems like she's really into the conspiracy shit. And we know how much we love those people over here. So, let's see what Roseanne is talking about on Piers Morgan.
Do you think there's a danger that you've become a conspiracy theorist?
I'm a conspiracy analyst. I can speak the truth to people because they need to hear it. The war in Ukraine is actually about biolabs owned by billionaire Americans.
Right.
Google that. Goldman Sachs, working for Jeffrey Epstein. Jill Biden was Biden's babysitter when she was 15.
Yeah, that is not true.
Okay, get on Google. You can Google everything I say because I don't lie.
You cannot believe everything you read on Google.
Send him the Google.
You're saying a lot of things which are not substantiated.
Half the crap you say is BS. You and your Palestinian crap.
What is your view of the war?
It's a war on a whole other level. And we're fighting subterranean wars. The whole Western world is on the verge of flame. I was put in several mental institutions, and I don't walk around showing my wiener to kids. It, Piers, I'm not gonna shut up.
If you can't just say it, the chances are that she's already said it. Roseanne Barr is the seemingly uncancelable comic. She's back on tour, has a new podcast, and has recently become a serious political commentator. On a show called Uncensored, it probably comes as no surprise that she's one of our most popular ever guests. And with the mandatory trigger warning, I'm delighted to say Roseanne rejoins me now. Roseanne, great to see you.
Good to see you too, Piers.
How are you?
I love that. Thank you so much for having me on.
Get to see you, Piers. Was that real? What the hell was that?
As I say on my podcast, which you can see on roseannebarr.com, I start everyone like this. Greetings, earthlings, humans and others, and all members of the animal kingdom in love with my melodious voice, who people send me videos of their animals sleeping soundly in front of my voice on the podcast. Keep sending them. I love them. Because you know why? Because animals are sleeping soundly when they hear my melodious tones, because they know and recognize that a voice of intelligence has for once pierced this unified veil of bullshit.
You know, last time you came on.
I'm sorry, that was probably the longest, weakest joke I've ever heard.
One clip on our TikTok account got 14 million views. I'm going to play it for you here. What is a woman?
A woman is me. A woman is somebody whose breasts hang down to her stomach and who has a prolapsed uterus from giving birth to 5 ungrateful little bastards who have never had to work for a thing in their goddamn life. That's what
that was funny.
You know, Roseanne, that might be the single greatest answer to any question I've ever had in my entire illustrious career as an interviewer.
That was funny.
I remember when I wrote that joke, it just came to me for some reason.
Let me ask you, on a wider point, this whole idea of trigger warnings, I made a joke of it when I introduced you, but we now have theatres for a Shakespeare play where, you know, Macbeth or King Lear or something, where there may be a death, for example, people have to be given a trigger warning that you might be upset by what you may be about to see. To which I think it was James Judi Dench who said recently, well, if you're going to be upset by it, don't go. I mean, how has it come to this, where people going to the theatre to watch a Shakespeare play need trigger warnings?
I got me some good OJ. I want to see what she say, but I don't know about y'all, but I don't like when people do that trigger warning stuff. To be honest, and I could be wrong, I don't think I'm wrong. I remember Abba and Preach did a video where they did the research, and they came to find that, I say I could be wrong because I didn't look myself, but they did some research to find that when you tell people there's a trigger warning, you're more likely to make that person upset than if you just go on with business as usual. Like, if I'm telling you a story and I'll be like, oh, this is a trigger warning, so you might, because I know you got sexually assaulted in the past, this is a trigger warning because this might upset you. It's kind of like, well, I really wasn't thinking about my experience, but now you done brought it on, you done brought that into me now, and now I have to think about the actual experience versus it's like, I'm telling you a story and I'm just telling you what happened. You don't have to associate it with yourself off rip. You know what I'm saying? Even you might really suppress that shit and you may have gotten therapy and you gotten over it, but when you say trigger warning, it's like, if you're directly talking to somebody, you have to kind of bring them to that moment. If you're not directly talking to somebody, somebody should not be so fragile that saying that a rape happens that they gotta like go fucking, you gotta keep them from jumping off the cliff. Like, that's not even healthy for that person that they can't ever hear that word ever, or you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like if they see it and they don't want to read it, they'll just stop reading it. That's how I think it works. As if video games haven't desensitized the population, nothing much will shock any of us. I don't even think video games has desensitized us simply because there's no correlation to video games and like real world violence for like people that play it, especially in movies too. I mean, movies is more realistic than video games. You know, video games, it's all fake. Oh, you said you didn't have it caught up. But yeah, I don't. The whole trigger warning is kind of like, let the people decide as you're telling the story, or they're reading it, or they, you know, it just seems so heavy-handed to be like, trigger warning, this is gonna happen, like.
Well, because they're self-appointed censors, you know, they're haters with no talent, basically. And what they do is they sniff around until they smell some talent, and then they must crush it out, especially if it's, has anything to do with today or is funny at all. They must destroy funny and relevant as fast as they possibly can.
Yeah, it seems to me that...
And they're fashion.
She didn't even answer the question, though. He talked about when they said it's a death in a play and they give a trigger warning. Why is she talking about funny?
Yeah, I agree. I think they are fascist, and they're joyless. They want to suck the joy out of everything, which means comedy is under threat like I've never seen it.
Oh yeah, well, I knew comedy was under threat when Obama signed the NDAA. I said now he's going to destroy all of comedy because you'll be carted off to jail if you say the wrong thing. And it's happening. It's happening. People are in jail for their tweets. Yeah. People don't want to think of that, but it's true. I mean, Julian Assange is in jail because he exposed what happened under the Obama administration. What happened at Abu Ghraib. He's in prison for all these years for exposing. So, I mean, it is.
I don't know who that is, but to my understanding, it sounds like if he exposed something that he wasn't supposed to under an NDA, yes, you'll go to jail for that. And who's in jail for tweets? Are they in jail for tweets, or did they like threaten somebody? Did they say something they weren't supposed to say? That's not even. She literally said he exposed something under the Obama administration, meaning he probably said something he was under NDA and was not supposed to, which, yes, is grounds to go to jail, especially if it has to do with the government. So there's that. Let's be honest about what we're saying.
It's a fascist regime. Let's just cut to the chase. It is a fascist regime.
about.
And two things fascists don't like: dialogue and humor. They hate those two things. So, of course, they also don't like any sense of truth, which actually, the people need to have liberty.
And I don't know if Roseanne was always like this, but it's almost as if it's like ever since she got canceled for those racist remarks she made, now she's spiraled into the rabbit hole of conspiracies. I wonder if that's the case here.
Because you can't have liberty without truth. So it's just a big unified field of bullshit. And it's also a color revolution by the book, the Marxist book. It's a color revolution in America. We exported it everywhere: Egypt, Iran, everywhere. And, now it's back home. And, all the birds have come home to roost. In the UK, too. We're on the wrong path, and we have to turn it around.
What do you mean by color revolution?
But war and death. Huh?
What do you mean by color revolution?
What?
What do you mean by
it's
color?
It's a Marxist overthrow.
Right.
Color revolution, Google it.
Right.
It's part of,
come on, man.
the whole
You
Marxist
can't just
playbook, color revolution. When you figure out enough ways to divide a society against itself, when you turn like a little tiny group of people into a protected class that then can complain and affect legislation and pull it away from schools and the taxpayers, it's a grift to drain off all the money to little NGOs and, take people's money, send it out of the country, put it into private pockets. It's like, an inverse pyramid scheme, Marxism.
You've been seen now warming up crowds.
And that's what's going on. Yeah, the commie government.
I just looked up color revolution, and either she made that up or just used it completely wrong. The color revolution, sometimes referred to as colored revolutions, were a series of non-violent protests and accompanying attempted or successful changes of government and society that took place in the post-Soviet state. So maybe this is what she's talking about, because I thought she was trying to speak in code. So I guess she's saying that they're non-violently trying to change the government. I don't think that's true. Don't say Google it though. You can't invoke a term and he literally asks you because he don't know what it means. Say Google it. That wouldn't have been the hardest thing to explain.
Is doing show trials just like they did in Stalinist Russia. They're doing show trials, which they know will be overturned by the Supreme Court.
Well, that was I was about to ask you. Well, I'm about to ask you about that.
It gives them news.
Yeah. Let me ask you about that.
Yeah, it's just the news covers the news. The news, the fabricated news, covers what's really happening. And, as horrifying as it gets, the better for the news.
Let me ask you specifically about Donald Trump's conviction, because I thought that was a ridiculous piece of grandstanding and quite dangerous for America, because it makes the justice system look like it's being driven by political motivation, not actual justice.
That's true. I do think that this looks bad, even though, the Mar-a-Lago shit is valid, but this Stormy Daniels thing, it looks bad. It just looks bad convicting him. It just looks like a political play, and that's not what the judicial system is for. The Mar-a-Lago shit, that's a valid thing to go to court over. This Stormy Daniels shit is just bad timing and bad optics. But if it was illegal, it's illegal. But the way they went about it.
Well, it is. And, you just have to look at American history to see that, for many years in our country, it was, very racist. They would manufacture evidence against black men all the time. Remember?
Yep.
Well, they do it to their political enemies always. Come on, America. We don't want that. We want justice for all Americans who
do you feel the same way about
blood, this government, and send their kids to die for it too?
Do you feel the same way about the Hunter Biden case? Do you think that would have happened if he wasn't the president's son?
Yeah, what's she finna say?
If he wasn't the president, it's such a farce. That's supposed to placate all the leftist goons. Like, see, we have equal. No, that one makes it impossible for them to go back and prosecute all the money he took from China and the Ukraine and gave it to the big guy. Now they can't go back and do that because they convicted him of a parking ticket. It just shows you how crooked it is. It shows you who runs it, too.
Who do you think runs?
You was better off just saying that. That was more valid than everything you said before. You might as well just say, well, look who runs it. If Hunter got away with what he did, but not. And of course, the thing is, of course, y'all are so thirsty to get back over Trump. Y'all make Hunter Biden act like he's the goddamn president. Bro, it's okay. She ain't lose you. She's not making a lot of sense. She's just saying things. That's how conspiracy theories work. They tie a bunch of unrelated things. They just tie them together and just hope that you believe. It's like, oh, since we don't have a straightforward answer to this, and this, I could just explain them and then put some words together, and then they'll all meet right here in the middle, and hopefully people believe it. That's really how it works.
And you got to wake up. Who runs it?
The thing is, you can know the answer to 2 out of 5 things in a conspiracy theory, and since you don't know the other 3, they'll fill in all those blanks for you to where they force you to feel like you don't know enough, and then it's like, now that makes sense, right? I answered all your questions for you, even though they don't be the right answers, and then that's how they get you to feel like they know what they're talking about or it makes sense.
Let's see, Piers. Let's see. Who does the news media never, ever criticize, but now they realize it's starting to show, so they'll do a little bit of things about Democrats.
She's trying to say nobody criticizes Joe Biden. That's a blatant lie. People didn't even want to vote for him the first run.
But you're not allowed to criticize Democrats. Or
you're lying. What are you talking about? Of course, the left-leaning media channels don't. The right-leaning ones do, and vice versa. For their people, that's what they do. What are you talking about?
Their party platform or the things they do, or to tell the truth about their open border child trafficking policies.
See, people keep saying open border. Biden does not have open
You're not allowed
borders.
to say that. You're not allowed to say that Obama, this is his 3rd term. You're not allowed to say that.
Because it's not his 3rd term. Why would you say that?
You're not allowed to say that Biden is, a hollow puppet that Obama operates. You're not allowed
is there any proof of that, Roseanne?
to say that. I don't know what. But anyway, I do feel protected.
Happen to you. I'm sick of everybody acting like they're going to get fucking axed off the earth if they say something unpopular. Where has that happened? If they didn't say nothing too egregious, and I mean, if you're like blatantly offensive, then yeah, but to say Biden's a hollow puppet, nobody gives a fuck. A lot of people think that, including people that support him.
Very religious. And so I know that the God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Mohammed, and Jesus protects me so that I can speak the truth to people because they need to hear it. And I've given my life to that, and I'm just amping it up because I'm 72, and fuck it, Piers. I'm not going to shut up.
I would expect nothing else, Roseanne.
I just want y'all to know I sped this up, and it still feels too slow. Like, I got to take this up another notch.
You've been warming up crowds for President Trump. Do you think he's going to win the election, and will you be voting for him? I presume you will.
Well, as I say, Piers, I don't think
she said Mohammed. I'm like, what the fuck? I guess she just used every name that she knows. She ain't want to claim a religion.
Going to have an election. I say. Well, as I say, Piers, I don't think we're going to have an election. I say that. So, you might want to move on with that one. Next.
We're not going to have an election. What the fuck? That sounds like some type of implicit threat. Yeah, bro, they talk slow as hell. I'm like, I sped this up, and it still feels like they talking slow as fuck. I can't imagine the regular speed. But that felt like an implicit threat. What do you mean we're not going to have an election? Is she saying that they're going to cheat?
This question.
Well, what do you think is going to happen?
I think there's many things that could happen, but it seems that, all of these trials that they keep putting him through is election interference. And when they're not able to get away with that anymore, if you've noticed, I just want to talk about the good news, Piers, because I'm tired of the way that the media frames everything. You know what I mean? Because it's like, it just makes people think in a certain way, and it makes them think stuff's going on that ain't going on. So I just want to talk about what is really going on, Piers, because people don't know.
Well, I certainly think there is a very liberal skewed mainstream media in America, no question. But I'm curious why you don't think the election will actually happen. I mean, it's going to happen.
That was a very bold statement, and now you don't even want to talk about it. I don't think we're going to have an election, so we can move on. What? Of course he's going to dig into that.
I don't think it will happen. I think that America is on the verge of something because it's just too divided. And, they keep trying to amp up the trying to demonize half the population through the media. And I think they're doing that for a reason, because and I think they're bringing in all these millions of people to vote, because the American people ain't going to vote for Biden. So they got to bring in voters from all over the world, and they're recruiting them. They're actually
bring in voters from all over the world. What are you talking about?
Flying them from other countries, South America. If you'll Google it, you'll find out. They're recruiting them in countries south of the border and flying them from there to here to certain districts. And then I think they're going to try to give mass amnesty to them so they can vote for Biden. They're on the payroll. And
I mean, look, what I would say about that, Roseanne, look, you're saying
what the fuck? This is all these claims with no proof. It's just, I can't believe that people do shit like this, and then I can't believe there's people that listen to it. She just made so many claims, and it's like, what are you talking about? They're gonna fly him in. You think that wouldn't get noticed? How many people do you think it takes to change a vote, to change the way a vote goes completely in one direction or the other? How many people do you think that would take? It would have to take millions upon millions, especially if they got to go to different districts. You think if they fly 100 people to one district, the whole vote's gonna go a different way? What are we talking about?
Want that?
Well, I would say this. You're saying a lot of things which are not substantiated. I know these are theories that people are putting out there. But the one thing I would say about it is that Trump's popularity with his...
I just heard them substantiated by 4 sources yesterday. Last night I stayed up all night.
I'm about to make a point.
So it is substantiated.
Okay, I'm about to make
as part of the questioning of...
I'm about to make a wider point. Trump's support with Hispanics and with Black Americans is rising sharply. He doesn't need this.
Thank God.
Yeah, but they don't need...
No, they're not here to vote for Trump. They're here to vote for Biden. Hello? This is a Democrat Party operation. Plus to bring in, people that they can pay less money to work in their homes. They love that. I knew that when I was in Hollywood. First thing I did when I went over to rich people's house is go in the kitchen and ask them how much they's getting paid, and it was always poor wages in all these millionaire houses. I'm telling you, the Democrats are not who they was when I was a girl.
That doesn't mean they legal residents, though. If you paying people pennies, they're probably not legal and they're not voting.
They're not your daddy's Democrats. They're communists, jihadis, crazy people that should be in mental institutions. Believe me, I was put in several mental institutions, and I'm far more sane than any of these people. I don't walk around showing my wiener to kids. But
who did that?
They locked me up.
I was just going to say, I know Sheila knows something about the padded walls.
What do you think? I mean, Joe Biden, there was a clip, I want to show you a clip of him where he appeared to be freezing. This was a Juneteenth celebration. Let's have a look at this.
That too, that would be funny. They probably doing well, just not her standards. That's possibly, but she claimed they said they're making nothing, and it's like, well, if they're illegal immigrants, that should be expected, and they're not voting.
Trying to hold it in.
Well, he's just frozen, like a statue. It went on for about a minute. I mean, it seems to me pretty obvious that Joe Biden is sadly in the early stages of genuine dementia. Is that what it seems to you?
It really does, and it makes me sad.
That was weird as hell, but I mean, I would assume Biden probably doesn't know that song. That was a black gospel song. He probably don't know it, so he didn't know what to do, and he can't probably dance, so he don't know where to catch the beat. Because that was, I don't want to love nobody but you, right? So he probably doesn't know where to catch the beat.
This was a Juneteenth operation. Let's have a look at this.
Trying to hold it in.
Well, he's just like frozen, like a statue. He went on for about a minute. I mean, it seems to me pretty obvious that Joe Biden is.
I don't know if he definitely looks awkward as hell. Like I don't know what was going through his brain or what happened if he had a short circuit. But oh no, it's the other white guy next to Kamala. Oh, that's her husband probably. But he probably got some rhythm because of Kamala.
Sadly, in the early stages of genuine dementia. Is that what it seems to you?
It really does, and it makes me sad because one of my mom's boyfriends that she killed, we joke because she overfed them until they had heart disease and died. But anyway, this one, he was a lovely man, a lawyer. But he did have that, and he did die a torturous death because of it. And you can see that he is suffering from that. And why they keep sending out this poor old man.
How are you just going to diagnose him?
I have compassion for him as a human being. Why they're doing that to him shows how they have another thing wrong with him. He should be in treatment and be taken care of.
Yeah, I mean, there was a moment
he can't even form a sentence.
Yeah, there was a moment of the D-Day ceremony in France where he tried to sit on an invisible chair. Let's take a look. I mean, he's literally trying to sit on a chair that isn't there, and that is in front of the whole world.
Wait, it's a chair right behind him. It was just further than he thought. We're looking at the video. They're being dishonest. Y'all, it's a chair right here. Hold on, bro. It's a chair right there. What the hell is the button? Hold on. How you zoom in? I'm a boomer. I don't know how to zoom in. But look, right here by his hand, by his right hand, there's a chair right. Why is he calling it invisible when really the issue is that it was further than he probably anticipated? But the chair's right there with nobody in it, and clearly that's his chair. Like, these people are just... Piers, I expect more from you. I would expect more from you. I couldn't zoom in. I feel like a fucking boomer. I don't know how to zoom in on this shit. But it's clear as day, right here by his right hand, that it's a fucking chair that's empty for him to sit on.
I mean, he's literally trying to sit on a chair that isn't there, and that is in front of the whole world.
Well, a lot of people thought he had, pooped himself.
Distinguished
But now that I'm seeing it again, I think you're right. Yeah.
But it's sad to watch, isn't it? No one takes pleasure watching that.
It is very sad, and they should have more compassion for an old man who obviously is having dementia problems. It's obvious to everybody. And, there's so many Americans who are suffering from that. You wouldn't drag them out in front of the camera to very significant American historical meaningful events and thrust them into that.
I do believe that something's going on with Joe and they can't tell us and they won't tell us. I think they need to make an age limit for presidents too. And it's not even that most 80-year-olds are like mentally declining. It's just like when you get to they do say once you reach like your 80s, you're probably going to make it to your 90s if you're healthy. I think that's what they say. Usually if you make it past like 70 something, you'll probably make it into your 90s. But it's at this point, you don't have to spend your life trying to be the freaking president. That'll take years off of you easily with the stress. And I think it should be a limit.
It's just sad.
Do you think Jill Biden should be doing more to protect him?
Like what?
Yeah, she's oblivious. She is, what you get when you get a trophy wife, when, you meet her when she's your 15-year-old babysitter. You're going to probably say that's not correct too, knowing you. But it is true, and you can Google everything.
It probably isn't true.
I say, because I don't lie. I get 4 sources.
Well, you may have 4 sources, but what you just said is actually not true.
You might have 4 sources, but what you said is not true.
That Jill Biden was Biden's babysitter when she was 15?
Yeah, that is not true.
You're saying that ain't true?
Not true.
Okay, get on Google and let Piers
Roseanne, you cannot believe everything you read on Google.
Well, it's not that you can't believe everything on Google, is where did you get it off of Google?
Okay, people, let Piers know. Send him the Google. Maybe it's been discounted. I don't know. Half the crap you say is BS. What are you jumping down my throat for? You and your Palestinian crap.
What Palestinian crap? What are you talking about?
You are
First thing, false claims about when Jill and Joe Biden started dating. Joe Biden's wife, first wife. Social media users sharing posts which claim that the First Lady Jill Biden was Joe Biden's teenage babysitter, and Joe started a relationship with her while his wife was in the hospital. This claim is false. According to the Bidens, Jill and Joe Biden's first date was in March 1975 when Jill was in her 20s. Claiming she was underage to consent of the director posting here. Yeah. So it's not true. This is from Reuters. So it's false.
You're framing a horrible narrative, Piers.
Go on, explain to me.
That is like, you're allowing like just the worst conversations with the worst people.
Really?
And I know you have to. And I guess I respect you for having to do it because otherwise you wouldn't be allowed on the media. Nobody like me is ever going to comment. They're not going to allow me to comment.
You're literally on a show
called... I'm happy you have me on because I would like to comment.
I'm literally allowing you right now. If you want to talk about the Israel-Hamas war, talk about it now.
I'd like to give my opinion based on the Bible. They won't let me base my opinion on the Bible because I'm a Jew. Well, we wrote it. So
what the fuck is wrong with her? Who's they? Who is not giving you an opinion? First of all, you're not a political pundit, so nobody's seeking out Roseanne. Piers talks to everybody, especially people that's like you, that's just spewing nonsense and controversial. He's letting you talk. Of course, you're not going to get on no real news media and they let you just say whatever because they're going to give you pushback and you're going to get mad, but you're wrong.
Back off.
Well, you could have any opinion you like.
I want to base my opinion off the Bible and they won't let you. Well, it's an opinion. As long as you're not stating it as a fact, people are going to push back on you if they have a different opinion.
What is your opinion?
You want people to just accept what you say and not ask questions or push back?
But you do get blacklisted for certain opinions, don't you, Piers?
Well, what is your view of the wall?
Depends. For you to see, that's the thing. Everybody's so tough and they're like, I sell the truth and I'm what's real and they're gonna. I don't care what the establishment says because I'm here to speak the truth. And then you bitch out when he's giving you the time and the platform and the space to say what you want to say. You acting like a bitch. This is Piers Morgan Uncensored. You don't get blacklisted from his because what you say on here. Now, unless you can't. It's certain things you can't say in general. Period. What do you want to say that's so bad?
Well, I say that October 7th. This is my opinion. That the people who were massacred, the Jews, and other people, because a lot of them were, not just Jews. They were Filipino, they were Arab, they were everybody who lived in that neighborhood.
There was civilians. They were civilians.
They were sacrificed.
Why did you just do that? They were civilians. It doesn't matter where they came from. They were civilians.
To Moloch.
What do you mean?
I want to say that. And
what does that mean, Roseanne?
We are at war with a death cult that is addicted to human blood, war, slavery, debt, suffering, and misery. And it's a war on a whole other level.
You're talking about. I want to say what you're talking about. Are you talking about Hamas there?
They're just one part of it. It's all evil, an evil death cult of blood-addicted leaders who use anti-Semitism as a tool to a larger end. And their goal is the subjectification of all free people to feudal slavery.
All right, let me ask you, do you have any...
awkward. Piers is like, this bitch has lost her mind. I don't even call women bitches, but I know it is. That's what he thinking. He like, she can't even articulate. First of all, y'all see how hard it was for her to get that out. I want to see how this sounds at normal speed. Oh, I did zoom in, but it didn't zoom in the right way. It didn't zoom in the right way. It just zoomed in that stuff. I want to see what this sounds like normal.
Subjectification of all. Their goal is the subjectification of all.
Y'all, you would think I slowed it down. This is normal speed.
Free people to feudal slavery. And
all right, let me ask you, do you have any...
We're seeing on the news all this stuff about, is Israel an occupier? Are Jews evil? Are Jews horrible? Are Jews Nazis? That's 24/7. Are Jews the new Nazis in every conversation? Are Jews committing a Holocaust? Every conversation. Now that's evil. But, I understand that that's what the media, which is using anti-Semitism as a tool, and must, because the owners of the world decree it to be so. But something else is happening that people aren't allowed to know about. And you're going to say this is crap too, because you have to. And you see it
only if I think it's crap.
Okay, but you got to Google it before you say it's crap, Piers.
Well, I might know the answer.
And don't even Google it. Forget Google. That's all BlackRock. Go to some other...
Wait, now Google's BlackRock. You just told him to Google the color revolution. Now Google is is BlackRock.
Other thing, if you can find it. But great,
some other thing?
BlackRock. Go to some other thing if you can find it. But great things are happening because something else is happening that people don't know about. And we're fighting subterranean wars. And the war that Israel is fighting is actually a part of worldwide subterranean warfare. And that's what I want to say. Against child trafficking tunnels, organ trafficking tunnels, people who have an underground economy that's even bigger than the one we have up here that we work for to pay taxes, all stolen from us and sent to build those tunnels. And the tunnels in Gaza, a lot of people don't know this, were mostly dug by child labor, which is a war crime that Hamas routinely commits. The children are kidnapped from their families and worked underground largely until they die or their families don't get food. It's a yank. I know because I went to Gaza, and myself, several Muslim grandmothers and Christian grandmothers, we prayed together for peace. This was 15 years ago. And I saw, heard, and witnessed things where Hamas commits a war crime an hour and is never called on the carpet for it. Like to break into a neighboring state's borders is a war crime. To use children under 18 as soldiers is another war crime. To waylay foods,
I don't know if that holds true in other countries.
Stuffs and medicines from the population is another war crime. To, like in Yemen yesterday, or last week I think it was, 13 gays sentenced to crucifixion is a war crime. The taking away of civil rights from all women, that's a war crime. Remember, it's backward day every day. But those tunnels laid bare under the Rafah Gate that Egypt erected to keep its own people out because it needs to use them as perpetual PR subjects and slaves. Under that gate was exposed one of the longest tunnels. And this is a different kind of a war that we're engaged in. And it's all because the first thing President Trump did when he came to office was to declare a war on child trafficking.
Okay, but let me ask you this. All right, Roseanne,
it's all about to me.
Roseanne, you're saying a lot of things that you've obviously read. I want to just read something back to you because I'm confused about your view of Israel and Hamas and Gaza. Because in 2009, on your own personal blog, which appeared on your website, Roseanne World,
I know. Well, then we're going to talk about my waking up.
Well, hang on.
Years.
Hang on. I haven't finished it yet. You said that Israel's military campaign against Hamas in Gaza was wrong. You labeled Israel a Nazi state, and you called for an end to Israeli occupation of Palestine. So you've dramatically changed your position.
Did. Well, I was a pure old commie leftist, as was my daddy and his daddy too. I was a red diaper baby, and I supposed those things to be true. I believed what I was raised to believe. And then, as a leftist, I ran for president on a socialist party in 2012.
Yeah.
And it was during that time where I saw that almost everything that the Socialist Party was about was, you know what I did? I read the Goldstone Report. Let's just go there. I read the Goldstone Report.
Yeah, but when you ran for president,
watershed report.
Yeah, but Roseanne, when you ran for president in 2012, one of your policies was to demand an end to Israeli occupation of Palestine. That's 3 years after you called Israel a Nazi state.
Yeah, it was a slow waking up. I called it Israelstein, where children's rights would come first over any other political thing. I've never really been, you know, I've always been a free thinker, even within the confines that I found myself in my political opinions as a socialist. But when I ran for president in 2012, my eyes became open and I, as they say now, I walked away from the left. I totally and slowly walked away from the left because when I was giving my political speeches as a candidate for president, you know, it kind of engaged my brain to write those speeches. And I saw that it was farcical, especially when I saw how they chose their candidate and that I was privy to a lot of inside information as a candidate, which is also why I wanted to run, and found out that, you know, it's a little bit like wrestling, Piers. And nobody really, even more than anybody, the socialists didn't want a socialist to win.
But Roseanne, let me ask you, if you're prepared
that's about it.
but if you change your mind so dramatically.
But you know what I did? I became, like Trump, from a socialist, I became a populist. Trump is a populist, and that is why I love him.
I don't disagree with that, but let me ask you, do you think there's a danger that you've become a conspiracy theorist, that you read maybe too much online, and you believe a lot of what you read, even if it's not actually true? Do you accept that could be a possibility?
Well, I think that's more of a possibility for you, Piers, because you've said so many cockamamie things that I am always rolling my eyes.
Name one.
But I wanted to come on and set you straight, but I knew you would call me a conspiracy theorist. I dare you to find one thing I've said that didn't happen.
Joe,
2 years later.
Reuters said it. Why do you think you're right and they wrong? She was not his babysitter. All this flying in people to vote shit is none of that's been founded.
Before you call me a conspiracy theorist,
I didn't call you one.
Because I'm a conspiracy analyst.
I didn't call you one. I asked if you thought
you don't think it's a conspiracy. You don't think it's a conspiracy, Goldman Sachs working for Jeffrey Epstein. Do you think that's a conspiracy theory?
Well, I'd rather deal in facts that we know. It's just easier than to, you know, go off on wild goose chases about stuff.
Was Jeffrey Epstein any part of any conspiracy with any bank at all?
I don't know.
A conspiracy existing is not the same as a conspiracy theory. Nobody's saying there's no such thing as conspiracies. The theories that you never substantiate is the problem, especially when they're so outlandish.
And nor do you.
Google it!
Yeah, but that's my point.
Google it, but you just said Google is BlackRock, so use something else.
You shouldn't read everything. You shouldn't believe everything you can Google.
If Piers not catching that is going to blow me.
There's a lot of mad stuff on Google.
Piers is just, he's not providing any alternative. This is frustrating because you're right, Piers. She reads stuff on Google and don't probably vet it. She probably just do confirmation bias. And she don't vet, because I didn't say, forget it. She's so bought in. You're not giving any counterfacts. You literally, you know that the Joe Biden babysitter thing wasn't true. Why didn't you just explain why? You tell us that there's no proof of them flying in people to vote. And how many people do you think they could fly in and have that type of money and resources to do something like that? And if they did, for it to go unnoticed is insane. And you're not even catching her on the whole Google it, when she just said Google was BlackRock, so use something else.
Well, I read like several sources. I don't, you know what I mean? Google lists about 70
but out of interest,
links.
Roseanne,
You don't
out of
just
interest,
read
you think I say a lot of stuff that is cockamamie, whatever you call it. Name one thing I've said that you think is completely untrue.
Well, you have a slant and a taint to...
She doesn't have one example. She's just finna say... She's really mad because he's unbiased, for more or less.
Your opinion, and, you know, I see things differently than you do.
But name one thing of mine that you think is wrong.
I don't so much think it's wrong as I think it's not fair.
Like what?
I don't think that you fairly consider the threat we're under at this time, or that we're at war.
I understand. That's a cockamamie thing.
I understand all that, but where do you think I've been unfair? I'm curious. Genuinely curious.
Well, I think you're grotesquely unfair by having Nazis on your show to say everything that Jews are committing genocide when it's self-defense.
Right.
When it's been 70 years of a war against their survival in a now Judenrein Arab world. You never mentioned that.
Yeah, but to be clear,
you never mentioned the Jews expelled from 56 Arab states.
To be clear, Roseanne, I have never said that Israel is waging genocide. I've never called Israel Nazis. You, however, did call them a Nazi state.
A lot of the people you allow to be in your sphere, they say it almost all your shows.
I have a lot of guests who say that. I have a lot of
people you bring on are despicable.
A lot of pro-Israeli guests.
They're liars. They're inverters of the truth. They just vomit Obama talking points.
And I have Israeli voices who say the complete opposite. Always. I try and be fair.
Yeah, they're all Obama Jews. Everybody you have mostly on is an Obama Israeli.
That man, Piers has people on from everything. Piers has extremists on both sides on. He has alt-right. He has conspiracy theorists. He has people that are way too liberal. He has everybody. So don't do that.
And they, Israel is in civil war, the same as the United States and the UK is in civil war.
Roseanne, that is simply not true.
You don't think people are in a civil war in our country?
No, I think there's a lot of anger, a lot of toxic tribalism. But no, I don't think America's a state of civil war, and I hope it doesn't get to a state of civil war. But I try and be very...
You don't think people of a conservative Christian opinion are afraid here?
You
don't think Jewish students on campuses are afraid here?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
That's still not a civil war.
Well...
It's not a civil war.
That's not okay.
No, it's not. I agree.
You don't think conservative...
but it started off being about a civil war. Now you're like, that's not okay. He can say it's not okay. It doesn't mean it's a civil war. We just had this conversation, y'all. People can't ever acknowledge that something is bad. It has to be the worst version of the bad thing that it is. It just has to be something it's just not for people to understand it.
Black people are afraid here?
I think a lot of people in America feel afraid.
You don't think a certain profile...
He acknowledged it.
...person is being discriminated against here in every walk of life, who doesn't go along with the prescribed narrative? You don't think they're suffering here?
I think millions of people...
You don't think the whole Western world is on the verge of flame?
No, I don't.
No, I don't.
You don't think Russia is being provoked by the Biden administration?
No, I think Russia illegally invaded a sovereign democratic country in Europe, and America is helping that sovereign democratic country defend itself, which I think is the only moral course of action America should be pursuing. And I find it quite extraordinary, actually, that people on the right in America think that America should withdraw all support for Ukraine, who got invaded by a ruthless Russian dictator who wants to restore the Soviet Union. So no, I don't agree.
Well, the war in Ukraine is actually about tunnels too, Piers.
Oh my God!
And about biolabs owned by billionaire Americans.
Right. It's funny.
You should Google that. We're on different planets.
Well, yeah, I think we are on different planets because I think you're Googling stuff which is not true.
But Piers, when you go to Google, there's 75,000 sources you can read.
Correct.
Some of
I
them...
don't understand why she's the biggest Google advocate after she just said, don't go to Google, go to Black because it's BlackRock. Like, Piers needs to catch her on that.
Contradict the other, but you keep reading until you can ascertain a truth.
No, you keep reading until you find what agrees with you. That's what you do, which is probably at the fucking bottom of Google because you said 75,000 sources. Yeah, and some of them is going to have some bullshit in it. And you go to those, which that's why you know it's 75,000 because your ass go all the way to the bottom till you find the bullshit that agrees with you in the conspiracy theories from non-reputable sources. That's what's happening.
Right.
You don't just read one and go, oh, hey, I'm not an idiot.
You're not an idiot, but I...
Well, I read the first one if it's reputable. Reuters, I'm going to trust them. And they said Jill was not Joe's babysitter because Reuters wouldn't post that if it wasn't true.
Do you think you are, unfortunately, being led down to
I'm on the other side as you. I think we're in a deep spiritual war that a lot of people should find out about. And it is good versus evil. It is. It's about being free and being enslaved.
I'm forgetting that
and
I have this
I
on
see that we're
1.5
winning.
speed.
I see that we're
That's
winning.
crazy.
I'm just going to leave it there. I think freedom, liberty, women's rights, intelligence is winning.
Well, I would certainly like to think all those things are winning. We probably agree with a lot more than you think. I think I'm a lot fairer than you seem to think I am. I give everyone a platform, including you.
Well,
I'm not trying to censor you.
Let me come on. You're very fair to allow me to come on and say these things.
Yeah.
People can decide for themselves if what I'm saying is crazy or not. They've called me crazy my whole life, but I'm always right. But do the research yourself.
Y'all notice
and
that's
see.
always the conspiracy theorists. I mean, the extremists are like, I'm always right when they're hardly ever right. They just say it and they don't have any way to prove it. They just say that shit.
And read military.gov above all else.
Okay, Roseanne, it's always good to see you. Good luck with your tour and your new podcast. I'm glad you remain uncancelled. I'm glad you come on uncensored, and I've not attempted to censor you.
I know, Piers, and I really appreciate it. God bless you, Godspeed. And, when Trump wins November 7th, it's going to be such liberty and freedom. No more taxes. Nasara and Gesara go into effect. And I'll leave it there. Love you all.
Roseanne, good to talk to you.
I can't believe she talks like that in real life. Like, that's crazy. Woo! So, that's all I got for today. I'm trying to do a call-in stream tomorrow. Chop it up with some of the people out there in the community. If you want to chop it up on my stream about whatever, just join the Discord, make that shit happen. But that's it for today, y'all. Appreciate everybody that came through and anybody that's going to watch this stream later on. Till next time, catch you on the next one. Yes, you did, Bunny. Bunny Zombie, I appreciate you for sliding, man. You just came at the end, man. You missed the whole thing. I plan to stream tomorrow, though. That's the plan. I can't promise it at the moment, but the plan is to stream tomorrow. Might do a little call-in section if I ain't got nothing to watch. If I got something to watch. I might do both. It just depends. Middle of the afternoon tomorrow. Appreciate you for still sliding. You came when you could, but yeah, I just got done, man. Sorry. But I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Peace.